everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. It's a fresh start throughout the league here in Week 1 as these two teams have high hopes for the season ahead. It's the Saints going up against the Vikings. The opening kick of the new season is straight ahead as we turn it over to our broadcast duo of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, it's one of the new jewels of the NFL, no doubt, as you get a look inside U.S. Bank Stadium here in Minneapolis. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. Welcome in, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden, and partner, training camp over, preseason over. It's time for Week 1.
And how much fun is that? No longer do we have to talk about who's going to make the team. The rosters are set. These guys now get to go out and play for real. No more of these preseason games. Now they're playing, and the records count.
Kai Forbath set to kick it away for the Vikings. And off we go from the Twin Cities. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Here we go, the first carry for the former Viking Peterson. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Let's see what the offense comes with here. 2nd and 8. Shotgun now for Brees. And it's caught. Kobe Fleener. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Brees finding Fleener for New Orleans first.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Picked up a first down.
And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Pretty bizarre for AP. Plays the first 10 years of his career with the Vikings. He leaves for New Orleans, and his first game is, boom, right here in Minnesota.
You think maybe he was headed to the home locker room when he got off the bus?
Probably got a little confused.
But I know one thing. He's going to be motivated for this one.
He could muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on second down. They'll run it. Here's Peterson. And he's going to go backward. They get him behind the line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed him for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
And now running right through it. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Here's the rookie from Florida State, Dalvin Cook, his first NFL carry. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, who is this guy? He's special. And he said, dude, you watched a home run hitter on the field.
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage. Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 64 yards. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Play clock winding down. They'll try to run with McKinnon. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Jerick McKinnon taking it in. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Forbath out to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage. Awfully nice to see Adrian Peterson back and running well. Look, it was just 2015 when he won his last rushing title. Got hurt in 2016, and that season became a bit of a walk.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Jaleel Johnson in there to bring him down, and it'll be a play to remember for that young man. The first sack of his NFL career.
One thing they definitely like about this youngster is his motor. He is full throttle on each and every snap. Loves to get after the quarterback, and that has to feel good to him right there. His first career sack.
Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5. He's a 2nd-round pick, a solid 2nd-round pick. But when you're close to that first round, do you come in with a little chip on your shoulder?
You definitely do, because now your money's not the same. But even more than that, it's the prestige. Everyone wants to be a first-round pick, and he thought his talent demanded that. And I do know some teams in the league that first-round grades on him.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
Time running out here on the play clock. 3rd and short yardage. Bridgewater. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. Running for it, here's Cook, and he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Call it a 3-yard gain. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks.
Brandon, this is why play callers get the big bucks. This wasn't a 4th and inches call. You get into situations like 4th and 3, 4th and 4. You've got a tough decision to make. Very gutsy play here, and they pick up the first down.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football, and they've got it here with a first down. Now a run with Cook. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Demaryius Thomas, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. You got to figure if they want to have success this year, the more they can put the football in his hands, the better, coming off a Pro Bowl campaign.
And that Pro Bowl campaign does more than just get him notoriety. It also plants an idea in the minds of guys trying to defend him that he's really pretty good, and sometimes gives you a little bit of extra room, a little bit of extra deference, and he's taking advantage of it.
And it's good to make it 14-0. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it's polished off by a Viking score. Forbath out to kick this one away. On the return, it's Ted Ginn Jr. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Anthony Barr. Not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9.
Well, that was an interesting little chess match there because the offense went empty set. No running backs in the backfield, so they're trying to get people out into a route pretty quickly. But guess what? The defense sees that. They go ahead and move themselves into a blitzing situation and come right after the quarterback. They had more guys there than they could block. So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
One of my favorite safeties in the league is Harrison Smith. His ability to support in the run game, as we just saw there, that's key, but also can cover deep as well.
Sherrills to return it. Oh, some strong running. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it'll be Viking football here as they take possession. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's brought down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. He's making quite a splash here in his NFL debut.
Well, he was advertised as being NFL ready, and both you and I tend to arch an eyebrow a little bit when we first hear that, but I think that they were right about this one.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
He'll find Thielen, work in the middle. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Demaryius Thomas, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Forbath to add the extra point. And it is now 21-0. Forbath out to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
They run again with Peterson. Oh, what a move. And Peterson, what happened? He lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And he will take this one into the end zone for the Viking touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Now Forbath for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. On the return, the new Saint, Ted Ginn. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Linval Joseph busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. That'll be a gain of 15 yards, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case,
and it's a fumble, and the Vikings Vikings pick up the football. And they're going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Forbath to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do we do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover differential.
Without a doubt, because when we see that pretty much tells the tale of the game. And I know there's still plenty of time to go.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And some room to maneuver.
He makes so many catches that are so tough, so acrobatic, so difficult that often surprises me when they actually turn the ball over. You know, when the ball actually comes free. It's amazing sometimes because of what we see them do on so many different plays.
Had the catch, but couldn't control it on the contact. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. Now Cook. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop the jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
But he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And he's able to find Diggs. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
They try again with Cook. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. For Cook, 19 rushing touchdowns last year at Florida State, and now he can put this ball in the trophy case. Give to the equipment manager his first one in the NFL.
And, partner, remember, in recent years, a lot of rookie running backs didn't get very many touches in their first campaign, but we've seen over time, Todd Gurley had a big year as a rookie. Okay, we end up seeing Ezekiel Elliott with Dallas having a monster year as a rookie. Dalvin Cook will get plenty of opportunities to carry the football, even though it's his first campaign.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. So a minute 56 to play in this first half. A reminder coming up at this and every halftime this season, we'll be checking in with Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of our first half.
LR, that's my man.
That's your guy. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And heavy contact. He is knocked down hard at the 49. Not to turn away any of our viewers, but worth mentioning, I suppose. No team has ever come back from a deficit of this size and won an NFL game. The largest ever was 32 by the Bills over the Oilers in 1993. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll be a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
The Saints on third down, not good, 0 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Again, they'll throw with Breeze. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Emerson Griffin in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. Demaryius Thomas gets set to go again on offense. We're in the second quarter. He already has 2 touchdowns. We know how good he is. That's well documented. How do you contain him?
We know he's a nightmare. So in this situation, I would go ahead and double him, maybe even have a 3rd person in the area, and try and dissuade them from throwing him the football. Make someone else beat me for a while, because I don't know that their talents are his, because when he gets his hands on the ball, he breaks down my entire D. Someone else, they may not make the same type of a play.
Well, we know his talents are very good. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Okay, Brandon, thanks, and welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get to the highlights. The Vikings are simply running the show in the first half. They've controlled the game and are way out in front. The Saints have an uphill battle in front of them, but will try to claw back in this one. All right, let's roll the highlights. Vikings have it midway through 1. Cook's got great blocking here. He'll pick up more than 60 yards on the play. Continuing on the drive, McKinnon's going to take off here, and this 5-play drive goes for a touchdown. Vikings now on top. Vikings on 2nd and 7. Thomas has got the catch here, and this play goes for a score. The lead now at 14. Vikings have it at the 4. Thomas is wide open here on the catch, and this 4-play drive goes for a touchdown. As they go up here at 21-0. Saints on offense midway through the second. We're going to get a fumble here. Vikings will pick up the loose football and score. That pushes the lead to 28. 3rd down, inches to go. Thomas is going to cough up the football here. Vikings end up picking up the ball and scoring as the lead continues to mount. Following the 4th fumble, they run here with Dalvin Cook, and this 4-play drive goes for a touchdown as the blowout is on. And with that, we'll send you back to Minneapolis, where Brandon and Charles are on the call.
All right, Larry, indeed a one-sided affair to this point as we get set for half 2. This is taken at the 3. And few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They run once more with McKinnon. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Here's McKinnon, and a big collision there as he winds up flat on his back. A gain of 3, second down.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and end of the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be, but we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Breeze to another long-time vet, Ginn, for the New Orleans first. Saints were the best team in the NFL on third down last year. 49% conversion rate. Helps when you have Drew Brees back there.
It certainly does because he is just so analytical in everything he does. Goes through every progression on every snap in practice, so not much surprises him on game day.
Breeze to throw on second down. Now Breeze lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Here's Breeze to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he is knocked down from the side, right around the 26. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way, lost yardage.
No, for some reason, it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized. Executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now McKinnon to start the drive. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Here again is McKinnon. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Second and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
For so many years, I was convinced it was a myth, you know, because you always hear about the smaller running back. Oh, he gets lost, you can't find him, and sometimes that's part of his genius. But it's true. You get behind big offensive linemen, the defensive line guys trying to find him, trying to peek around people to see him, and he gets lost. But this guy gets lost in a good way for his offense, picking up big yardage.
And now they'll throw with Keenum. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
The Vikings on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Keenum now to throw. Screen play, McKinnon. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Jerick McKinnon. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And this Viking offense is running away with this one. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, wherever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
Forbath out to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
It's brought in here by Willie Snead. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Eric Kendricks in there to drop him the 7th time tonight. He's gone down.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
And he's got Snead. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Breeze finding Snead there for a Saint first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And he's brought down, but not before reaching the 8-yard line. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at beautiful new U.S. Bank Stadium. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. From the gun, it's Breeze. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Mark Ingram from 8 yards out. And the Saints are able to eat in just a bit to this sizable deficit. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no zero. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit. Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate. Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. They'll need to get the play off quickly. On second down, Cook. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and they're going to face a third down. This run defense was a weakness last year toward the bottom of the league, and early returns not good here this year.
And that's too bad because you and I both know that when you have something that's a weakness from your team the year before, you spend a lot of time out in the offseason, whether it's personnel, adjustments in scheme, all of those things. So that's got to be disheartening to start off the season this way. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the fourth.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20. As his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on. and they just play better and better.
And Ginn's got it. 30, 20, 10, touchdown, New Orleans. Ted Ginn, 77 yards. And the Saints able to get this back to within at least some measure of respectability.
That's a whole lot of points still to be down. But congratulations, they're still fighting, and they scored another touchdown.
My old high school coach used to say, Charles, he said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you wish you never had showed up.
Could have saved the gas money, the hotel, what have you, huh?
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This fielded at the 2. And now out comes Minnesota. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
They run it with McKinnon. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. The left side caught by Diggs. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. A gain of 6 there on first. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. They'll fake the give. Now Keenum. A dump down to McKinnon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he's brought down. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. McKinnon. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Now McKinnon. Space to run past the 20. And he's brought down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about running them into submission.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
12 more yards there and another 1st down. I think this defense tired of seeing him run the football, and this D-line probably getting sick of the O-line as well.
And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking about a conversation I had with Adam Gase, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins in the offseason. He told me that he asked his running backs each week for their favorite runs. Give me your 3 top runs. And right now, you're seeing a guy that's probably using his top runs to great advantage in this game.
He is in a zone. And the play clock's running down. On the toss, it's McKinnon. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week 1. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want. But there carries a little extra pressure with that as well, because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, 2 sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. The numbers tell the story. Not the best start, but it's not often how you start, it's how you finish. And since that start, he's been good.
Can you just imagine what was going on in the locker room with the defensive coordinator? Because things were working so well. His game plan was in effect. They were holding him down. He was off his game. But you just know that he was nervous at halftime because you don't hold a guy like that down for very long. And in this case, his fears were realized.
And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Now Brees throwing on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. The catch made over the middle by Ginn. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield.
Brandon, that's a tough guy right there. He knew that was going to happen. In other words, he had to absorb that hit. How about him securing the football, churning the legs a little bit, and gaining what he needed for a first down?
Well, that's the deal. On third down, these guys, they know where the sticks are. He obviously knew right there.
And if you want to be a dependable third down receiver, you've got to be willing to absorb those types of hits and make those sort of plays. When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now Brees. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watched that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not any chance at all. Way easier said than done.
He finds his target, Fuller. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. To throw is Brees. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and it'll make it second down. Brees to throw again. This will be caught inside the 10. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
But one thing you can never accuse Ted Ginn of is not doing his homework. He said that Drew Brees, playing with him, that's the type of quarterback that can extend your career. Smart move on his part.
That's why he signed with New Orleans, and he's had a good career as it is. A lot of the good years with Carolina. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team. But I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Now they go screen. It's complete. And partner, this this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week one. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for the Vikings, it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll try again next week at home against New England. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. It's a win for the Vikings as we say so long from Minneapolis.